Good day, welcome. This is your Daily Med with Lady V. Grace and peace be multiplied. Today we are looking at Philippians chapter 1, verse 27 through verse 30. We see the Apostle Paul telling us to live worthy of the gospel, coming from one who knows, coming from one who has strived and suffered for Christ. He says, only let your conduct be worthy of the gospel of Christ, so that whether I come and see you or am absent, I may hear of your affairs, that you stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel, and not in any way terrified by your adversaries, which is to them a proof of perdition, but to you of salvation, and that from God. For to you it has been granted on behalf of Christ, not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for his sake, having the same conflict which you saw in me, and now here is in me. So the Apostle Paul encourages us. He says we should live as good Christians. We should live as one who possesses and will be in the kingdom, not as one who professes and will find ourselves out of the kingdom. He says we should strive, and in our striving, sufferings will come for the sake of Christ. The Apostle Paul always encourages the believers, and here he is encouraging the believers to be unified. He's encouraging the believers to stand fast, united in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith, striving together for the gospel. How sad sometimes the efforts that we make become lost in some of our churches when there is infightings, when there is war going on. So instead of uniting against the real opposition, we sometimes unite ourselves one against each other and fight, as it were, in groups or separately, but against the wrong opposition. The real opposition, the real adversary is the devil and his angels. So the Apostle Paul considers it, as we'll see, a privilege to suffer for Christ. We do not by nature consider suffering a privilege. When we suffer, if we faithfully represents Christ, then our message and example affect us and affect others, and it would be in a good way and for good. And we see that in the book of Acts chapter 5 verse 40 and verse 44. Suffering as additional benefits, whether we believe it or not. It takes our eyes off the earthly controls or comforts and allow us to place our eyes upon Jesus. It allows us to be able to bring to him the things that are affecting us. It allows us to know no matter what we are going through, He is still with us. He promised never to abandon us in any circumstance of life. So we know for sure that He is with us. We know for sure, even when we are going through, His love surrounds us. It weeds out superficial believers, believers who, as we say, profess to be believers, but they are certainly ain't. And so when hardship comes, when suffering comes, they will say, this is not for me. I can't make it. I cannot be bothered. It strengthens the faith of those who endure. It serves as an example to others who may follow us. I have seen what you have been through, one might say, and I know for a fact, had it not been for God, you would not have made it. But they might have seen one fast and pray and trust God no matter what, encourage others even when they are in their own situation. When we suffer for our faith, it doesn't mean that we have done something wrong. In fact, the opposite is often true. It verifies that we have been faithful. Let us use suffering to build our character. Do not resent it, but do not allow suffering to tear us down, but allow suffering to build us up, to draw us closer to God. Throughout his life, the Apostle Paul suffered for spreading the gospel. Like the Philippians, sometimes we are in conflict with anyone who would discredit the saving message of Christ. All true believers are in the fight together, but our togetherness must be for the sake of the gospel and to bring glory to God. So when all true believers are in the fight together, we are uniting against the same enemy for a common cause. We are uniting against the enemy to say we will keep our focus on Jesus. We will help one another, and we will make sure that what God requires of us is being done. The Apostle Paul never urges Christians to seek suffering as if it were a virtue in part, but we should not forget those who suffer. We have a full cupboard of food, and we might see someone suffering for food. Then we should be able to share with others. If we are in a place of power and we see injustice going on, we should be able to work for justice and for mercy. If we are wealthy, we should give generously to the poor. The Bible tells us, he that giveth to the poor lendeth to God. Some may be able to give more than others, but God is expecting us to see, to have compassion, and to show care, and to also give. We can bless others in many different ways. Sometimes we'll see somebody in pain, carrying a heavy load. What should we do? Ask God how to help to bear this being with somebody else. We will tell the world by doing this that the gospel is true. They will also see that through our love, they will know that we are his disciples, because they would see the unity and the love one for another. God bless you. Thank you again for watching. Please subscribe. It is free. Like, share, also comment, and continue to visit my YouTube channel, Daily Med with Lady V.